welcome to the JG Show. I'm in the ring with Rory and with Gela, and we're going to be talking to you about UFC, boxing, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. There's a lot coming. Let's do it. Rory, so where are we at?
Right, so should we start with the big news first?
The big news comes first. Gela, what's happening in the boxing world? Gela, by the way, is an amateur boxer with 11 fights.
Amateur,
right? Amateur
11,
fights.
Yes.
Almost went pro in Mexico, so she's going to be sort of giving us some counsel on the boxing side. Rory, of course, as you know, is Mr. Encyclopedia of anything to do with combat. We're going to get to UFC, but more importantly, big fight coming on. Big fight. Is it October?
September 12th.
September 12th, Mike Tyson at 54 years of age is getting back in the ring against Roy Jones Jr. Is that right?
That's right, yeah. So Mike Tyson, Jones Jr.
Help me understand this. This makes no sense.
Well, what happened was they actually got offered to fight in 2003. Roy Jones Jr. got offered $33 million to fight Mike Tyson, and he said no, it wasn't enough money.
$33 million.
Yeah. So the same guys have came back. They're going to fight now September 12th, LA Galaxy's Arena in Los Angeles.
Nice.
So that'll be good. So it's going to be.
But why not Vegas? And more importantly, why not Fight Island?
Well, Fight Island is a bit different. You need to pay Dana White for Fight Island.
Yeah. Dana White gets a cut, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He takes too much.
Daddy Dana.
Yeah,
that's now that we call him Daddy Dana.
Fight Island's fully booked for the rest of the year.
Okay, so it's going to be in LA, and help me understand what. So they were actually commissioned to fight. They're not even the same weight classes in their pro careers.
So it's not going to be a recorded fight. There'll be no judges. There'll be no scoring. If either fighter bleeds at any point, the fight's called off.
Wow.
What? So the rules are there's no.
And the referee reserves the right. No judges. There'll be a referee.
A referee. Okay.
There'll be a referee. So it'll be 8 3-minute rounds, 12-ounce boxing gloves, no headgear, no judges, no fans. And if either fighter gets too aggressive, the referee reserves the right to call the fight.
Wow.
Mike Tyson says, "I don't give a shit. I'm going to knock him out with one punch."
Yeah. Anyways, just too aggressive. I think that's Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah, that's his style. That's his style. Mike Tyson is like always like that.
They said, "What do you think about the rules?" Tyson said, "I don't give a shit about the rules. He's getting knocked out."
So the rules. Okay, when you see the rules of it, this is obviously an expo fight. But are we disappointed with those rules? Because from what you tell me, it actually doesn't sound that bad.
It's to protect those two.
It's just a simple protection rules. These guys are way past their prime.
Yeah, and
but yet the entertainment value is going to be incredible to get them both in the ring. So the rules I think actually are okay. 8 3-minute rounds, 12-ounce gloves. What would it be normally? 8-ounce gloves?
Isn't it heavy?
It's like 8, sometimes 10.
10.
Yeah.
Okay, so they are going with heavier gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be no headgear. Apparently the first contract said they had to wear headgear, but the pay-per-view guys said that no headgear or we won't take the fight.
Oh. Well.
Exciting.
You can't see Mike Tyson fight with headgear on.
Oh, wait, okay, so what goes around a fight like this? Obviously a lot of betting.
The thing is, Las Vegas are taking bets already.
Okay.
But how can they take bets on a fight with no judges? If there's not going to be a defining winner, then how can you bet on a fight with no defining winner?
Who wins? Is it just over and everyone leaves?
I don't know.
Knockout and then win?
Apparently they're not. If the referee thinks they're going for a knockout, if they're being too aggressive, it will tell them to calm down.
Calm down. Or somebody's bleeding.
Or bleeding, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Which is strange, but the whole card's strange.
It's strange but fair enough.
Wait, tell me more about the card. Aren't there like celebrities on this card?
Yeah, so I mean, you might know more than me. I don't know anything about basketball, but Nate Robinson, does that ring a bell? Apparently he's famous because he won the dunk contest 3 times despite only being 175 centimeters. I don't know if that's impressive for not a basketball guy.
So we've got a basketball player.
He's fighting Logan Paul. Younger brother. So the YouTube guy's younger brother is fighting an NBA star on the undercard.
Because actually Logan Paul, he's quite accomplished. He's quite a good boxer. So his younger brother just thought he would get some showtime.
His younger brother already fought on the first Logan Paul fight on the same card.
Oh, okay. I'm out of this whole influencer.
I learned today.
Boxing. I'm not too clued up on it.
Yeah, so they're fighting, and then apparently the rest of the card will be MMA versus boxing, which could be quite interesting.
Wow.
But do we have any names up?
Nah, no names.
No names. So MMA, let's say like semi-retired, retired MMA fighters.
I'm not sure. That's all they said, but all they said that it would be filled with MMA versus boxing fights.
MMA versus boxing. So this is like a pure gladiator, Mortal Kombat move.
It's just a moneymaker. I mean, like the most interesting thing is that the pay-per-view rights are not with ESPN or Sky Sports or BT Sport. It's a social media company called Triller.
Triller.
Yeah. So like Thriller without the H, and they've paid $50 million for the rights to this fight. And if anyone wants to watch it, they have to go on this. It's like a TikTok equivalent.
Okay.
It's called Triller, and if you want to see the fight, you have to pay $49.99 to Triller to watch the stream.
So how are we going to watch it though? Can we just buy a pay-per-view? Isn't there?
I'll talk to Triller.
Which interesting, huh? This is the way the world is now. Everything that I mean, they're just it's so unexpected.
Yeah.
Not only is the fight not in Vegas, but can you even bet on it because there's no judges?
Well, Vegas are taking bets.
Mike Tyson in the ring again. Yes, somebody has to bet.
That's excited, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
But if there is no betting, then it's like, in a sense, everyone's like, well, what is this for? It's Mike Tyson, right? Right?
Wow.
I mean, the most interesting thing about this fight, I was looking at the records. The last time Jones Jr. fought was 2018, and he won his last 4 fights.
Okay.
The last time Tyson fought was 2005, and he got called off on his stool mid-rounds.
Okay.
So Mike Tyson lost his last 2, Jones Jr. won his last 4, and it was more recent.
Okay.
But Tyson looks in great shape.
Tyson looks in amazing shape.
Have you seen his training videos?
Yeah.
They're incredible.
Yeah, it's like, wow, even retired, he looks amazing. He's like,
But like, isn't he the one calling out Roy Jones Jr.?
I know why it's in Los Angeles. Because it's legal to smoke weed in Los Angeles.
The Mike Tyson retreat.
Yeah. That's why it's in.
That's why. That's
Okay.
like.
Yeah, because Tyson's got his own ranch, grows his own weed. In fact, when he was signing his contract, he had a joint in his mouth.
Oh, really?
Interesting. Okay. Mike Tyson. What?
Probably,
what
yes.
world?
That'll be it.
Yeah.
Tyson's like, I'm not fighting in Vegas, but I can't fucking smoke weed there. It's real good.
So I can't smoke leading up. What? Yeah. I can't fight in between rounds. Like I can't smoke in between rounds.
Maybe between rounds, he's like, okay,
Yes,
I'm ready.
Come on, man.
That'll be amazing. If Tyson walks out to the ring with a joint in his mouth, I'll die. That'll be amazing.
Dude, I would be like, very relaxed in the ring. I will be able to fight. Come on.
Could you smoke and fight at the same time?
That's what I'm saying. I think I cannot.
You don't think you could?
You'd be too happy. You'd be like, no.
I would be like,
Just come over.
I would be like hugging, like my opponent, like, come on,
Come here, easy.
join me to my trip. Come on, let's go.
Let's make love, not
Let's
war.
make exactly.
Oh my goodness, that is crazy. Okay. So yeah, maybe there's something there, and obviously Mike Tyson, maybe him as an individual, he's very much changed, right? So he probably doesn't care. He's like, yeah, pay me some money, but I don't want to be in the boxing scene.
He's not getting paid. All of the money for. Apparently, Jones Jr. will make in excess of $10 million, depending how well the pay-per-view does. Mike Tyson won't make any money. All of it goes to charity.
Really?
See, that's
like
what's
doing this for charity.
Yeah, Mike Tyson just doesn't care about.
Mike Tyson says, "Don't worry about me getting rich. I don't care about money. I don't need money." He's like, "All of my money will be going to the charities that my companies and stuff decides."
Wow. So what are we gonna do for this? We need to set up a time. We need to watch this somewhere.
It's good times. It's 6 p.m. local time in Los Angeles, which is 9 a.m. for us.
Okay.
But that's the time the card starts. So Tyson will be maybe 10 a.m., 11 a.m.
10, 11, yeah.
Which is perfect.
Yeah. Wow.
Nice. I want to see that.
Yeah, should watch together.
Because there's been so much hype about it, even with Mike Tyson releasing all these training videos, right? There was one particular video where he does his little step, bop, right? Yeah. Step up, and everyone was sharing this around, right? This was a couple months ago, right? Yeah. And then you saw more and more videos, and he has this trainer, and the trainer is like encouraging him, go, right? And you see him like, and then you start seeing him he's getting cut. He's getting ripped.
He looks in much better shape than Jones. It seems like he's got more up here than Jones left. Jones seems a little bit punch drunk.
Yeah.
Tyson seems a little bit more sharp.
But then now, he actually seems to say, okay, now I will get in the ring. But I was always wondering, why would he get back in the ring?
He says he wants to regain his former glory. But I don't understand that because I listen to his podcast sometimes, and he was always like, I don't recognize myself looking at myself back then. Like I see him as like an animal.
I was going to ask the same. Yeah, why do you want to go back to?
And then all of a sudden he wants to fight again. Yeah.
Seems like he wants to do it. Maybe it is for that charity.
Yeah, right? Maybe for charity.
If he isn't getting paid and he has this,
Oh, come on, it's Mike Tyson. He can do whatever he wants.
He did once. I'm not going to stop him.
Because at 54 years of age, him going into the ring now is going to be very different to how he was.
It's dangerous as well.
It is exactly. It's even dangerous. So he obviously doesn't care about himself, like the way his reputation.
Yeah.
He's like, how you see me now is how I am. Because that's how it is. When people see him at 54 fighting, that's who they'll remember him as, right? That's now his legacy. is that last. It's always your
The
last
last
fight.
Yeah,
right?
that's true. That's true.
So if he doesn't care about that, that's really interesting. That he's just going to be like, forget all that. I'll just this is a whole new me. I'm giving my money to charity, and that's interesting, right? How people always Mike Tyson, the greatest fighter that's ever lived, most deadliest fighter, most deadliest knockouts. So this is what you think of when you hear him, right? Then it turned into now he has this retreat. He's chilled out. Amazing podcast. He's opening up. You start to see an emotional side. But now we're going back, and he's fighting again. There's going to be so much conflict in all, not just the fans of Mike Tyson, but just people that understand him as a legend. They're like, oh,
It might kick off a new age of retired fighters doing exhibition matches.
Yeah. Especially if it's safe enough.
If it's safe and it makes a lot of money, you might start seeing older generations of fighters trying to come back and challenge them.
That's right. I would enjoy that. I would really enjoy that. This is exciting. It's really good. So we got Jake Paul against this basketball player.
That's confirmed, yeah.
That's confirmed. And then we got UFC. We got MMA versus boxing,
Which we don't know what that means yet, but it should be interesting.
Oh, what does it mean?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's like death then.
If it would be boxing, so the best idea that I had for an MMA versus boxing fight was that boxers are more technically skilled generally than MMA.
Okay.
For sure, yeah.
But the MMA guys can just take them down and beat them up straight away. So
Yes.
if an MMA fighter can last 10 rounds of boxing with a boxer, then the last 2 rounds would be MMA.
Do you think it will be a combination?
That's what I would do. I think it's the most interesting because if it's boxing rules, the boxer
That would be
wins.
more interesting,
If
but-
the MMA rules, then the MMA guy wins.
That's right.
It's like when they said Conor McGregor was going to fight Mayweather. It's boring if it's in boxing. It's boring if it's in UFC.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? But if it's a combination of the two of them, then it makes it a little bit more interesting.
And interesting the way they did. What is it? Eight rounds only, right?
Just 8 rounds.
No
8 rounds,
judges.
3 minutes, yeah.
So
3 minutes each one? Cool. So what is the difference between UFC and boxing?
UFC is 5 minutes, right?
Depends. Well, the UFC rules-wise, obviously boxing you can only use your hands.
Yeah.
The UFC you can use your elbows, knees, kicks.
Okay.
You can also take them to the ground
Okay.
and submit them. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. You can submit. And also there's
So we can say it's more aggressive.
It's much more aggressive. Yeah.
Okay.
There's only a few things you can't do. You can't knee them in the face if they're on their knees.
Yeah.
You can't football kick them if they're down.
Yeah.
And you can't do what they call a 12 to 6 elbow in the back of their head because that can really damage your.
Yeah, sure.
brain.
Like you can
Yeah.
die for that. Yeah.
And then
you can't headbutt, right?
no, but you should be able to. That'd be.
Yeah, I remember Joe Rogan talking about this, about some of the rules that are in UFC that should be changed, like based on safety and that. But
I read it last weekend that the rules change based on which state that you're in America.
Okay.
For small things like if you're going to get kneed in the face, you have to have 2 hands off the floor, then it's legal.
Then it's legal.
Some states say you have to have 2 hands down, and then you can't knee. Some's 1 hand, for example, but different things like that.
Okay.
But yeah, rounds-wise, for the UFC, a standard fight is 5 minutes, 3 rounds. Mm-hmm. If it's a title fight or if it's a main event, it's 5 rounds.
It's 5 rounds.
25 minutes.
Yeah. Whereas boxing is always 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just more rounds. You go up to
More
12,
rounds.
right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
The most interesting thing I found out today about the Tyson fight is that there's obviously no fans because of the whole Corona situation.
Mm-hmm. And them being in LA, which is like
The referee's
LA and the fans.
called Ray Corona.
his name is Ray Corona.
Ray Corona. You know Ray. You know in Spanish Ray is like king.
King Corona.
King Corona.
Corona.
My
Ray,
God.
Ray in Spanish is like king, so King Corona is going
I
Perfect.
can't
to
make that up. That is too crazy. That's crazy.
I thought it was
King
a joke.
Corona as a referee. Okay, good.
But when you hear about something like this happening, and you heard this Tiller, whatever it's called, Triller, this is their idea. They're the promoter. They're like everything.
I'm not sure, but look, they've got it on their website now. They've got
Triller, Mike Tyson versus Rory, purchase fight. Okay.
so they've got a countdown to be able to purchase the pay-per-view,
Okay.
and they're going to have the live stream.
This is a heavily funded company.
I mean, if you see
And
the
they just want a piece of the media, right?
the interesting point is the partners.
Okay.
They're partnered with like Sony, YouTube, Paramount, so they've got a big network.
Because you see something like this, and you realize the way the world is now with media. Everybody knows. Yeah, you got to take you got to take eyeballs now. No, there aren't no live events. Spotify,
Sony Music,
Okay.
Capitol Records,
Warner
Universal.
Brothers.
Wow.
Okay.
They're not like a small company.
They are a large company, or maybe
Yes.
they're just a subsidiary of a much larger company.
Apparently, they don't want to speak to me, so
So we still don't know how we're going to get a feed then, are we? We just,
No, because I asked them legitimate questions. I said, like, for us living in China, how can we access the fight? But they don't want to. They don't want to talk to us. They said that all will be revealed.
All will be revealed. Okay. Well, thanks so much, Triller.
Thanks, Triller.
Thanks a lot. We'll figure it out. All right. Well, there's our ins and outs on the Mike Tyson Roy Jones Jr. fight. But now.